y'all are done sleep. Uh, outside, still in Dallas. Smoking a cigar. It's not a victory cigar. uh, Great experience, man. To come to my first Cowboy game and to go to a game that made history. I think the second highest scoring game to end in a tie. A great game. I think about 7 lead changes. Last minute drives by both teams. Came down to a play that Green Bay actually tried to win the game, and almost if the deflection of the last play that they ran, if the ball was popped up in the air just a second longer, the game would have been over and the Cowboys that came around with a win. Outstanding game by Dak Prescott. Outstanding game by our offensive line. When Duke Manyweather, as well as I had said, but Duke Manyweather said it perfectly. He said back in training camp that this offensive line is the deepest in the NFL, and he's right. We can get quality play out of 8 guys on this offensive line. Three quality tackles. I don't know what happened with the left tackle. Was he Guyton? I don't know, but I know Steele was out. They kind of wanted Thomas to play, so they really feel good about Thomas. Steele had a great game. We got to look at it. It looks like a great game, but we're going to look at it on film. May have some hiccups, but to have that many offensive linemen that can play very well. You on your second string center who's doing a serviceable job, not perfect, but a serviceable job. Your second string guard who did a serviceable play. He may have some hiccups, but nothing glaring. You got 3 quality tackles, and then you got you got about 8, 9 guys that can play on this offensive line, and you got people you can get by with because they played against a very good defense today in Green Bay, and they controlled the game, running the ball as well as passing. I hope our fans understand. If they don't understand anything, I hope our fans understand that running the ball and play action passes is the way to go with Dak Prescott, and having him under center a lot and running that run and being committed to the run and the play action is a product for Dak to be very successful. Great contributions by Tolbert, contributions by your tight end, contributions by Flournoy. Everybody contributed on offense for this to be a 40-point game. They had a slow start, but when they got cooking, great play calling, kept it mixed up, kept the run game there, didn't alleviate them from, didn't go away from it. Dak made some plays. Pickens made some plays. He had some drops, but he still made plays. That's not praise Pickens to the point of just glorifying. Let's stay on him. Let's make sure that he blocks. Let's be on him when he doesn't block. Let's not try to call him a superstar. He is doing what he needs to do, as we see in the NFL a lot. Guys stepping in and stepping up. I'm very proud of the offense and the way they perform. Now let's get to the negative. The offense will perform, but as I always say, film says when you think something is really good, when you watch the film, sometimes it don't be as good as you think it is, and sometimes it don't be as bad as it is. I think the defensive line played very well. The people in the middle, the young rookie had a very good game. He's playing the run better than I ever thought he could play the run. He's getting stronger. The defensive line played well. The linebackers played okay. Our secondary's got problems. And some people want to think the secondary got problems with coverage. They got a problem with tackling. And the film is going to show, because I got a chance to watch it up close in person. When you get a chance to watch it in person and then watch it on the Jumbotron replay, we got cornerbacks as well as we had safeties early in the game that's turning down tackles. Elam turned down on how many tackles. Diggs turned down. Just don't get fooled by that last tackle that Diggs made in the fourth quarter. This film is going to show that these guys are turning tackles down. And that is a part of giving up these big plays. I said before last week, there's 3 reasons why defense give us the big plays. This had nothing to do with alignment and assignment. This had nothing to do with athleticism. I don't think I've seen people, except on that one play that we got in the first drive that Green Bay had. I don't know how the guy got behind them, but I don't think this had nothing to do with alignment and assignment. Alignment or assignment, discipline, alignment or assignment. This had nothing to do with not being totally athletic. This had all to do with being physical and effort. If our head coach said, our defense coordinator, and he quoted on this, he said, cornerbacks got to tackle. Well, he needs to go and get a memo to his cornerbacks, because they are refusing to tackle. And teams are attacking us because they don't think we can tackle on the back end. When teams start running multiple screens, when teams start throwing the ball multiple times underneath, they're telling you that they don't believe your guys can get off blocks or want to get off blocks, or your guys want to make tackles. Some people are going to say, well, the linebacker, no. If your safeties and corners are not coming upfield to make tackles, your defense is compromised. And the film is going to show that Elam, there's a reason why Buffalo got rid of him. And I don't think that all the reasons is because of cover. There's a reason why Diggs, and I'm not killing Diggs, but it's the truth. Diggs is playing cornerback like a guy that's not physical at all. And this is the problem with that. He's come from Alabama. And Nick Saban defensive backs tackles. He has gotten into the mode here is thinking that if he get interceptions, that's enough. Interceptions come few and far between. And if he's not going to tackle, I can get another guy to cover like that. They may not cover as good, but non-tackling, I don't think y'all understand this. I want y'all to go back and watch The Art of Coaching. It's an HBO special, and that special was with Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. And they say the most important thing from a cornerback is that he can be able to tackle. Because he's going to give up more big plays because he can't tackle than he can ever make in pass coverage. So that is atrocious. Our safety play is not aggressive enough. We got a chance to see Wanye Thomas. But you know something about Wanye? When you're playing behind a person that's not playing aggressive, that's not playing to attack the ball, that's not playing to knock people out, you may get in the game, but that's how you're going to play as well. So, we got to get our secondary because that secondary tackling, we're going to find out, if we watch this film, we're going to find out the secondary tackling should have cut some of these big plays that were 30 and 40 yards to 10 and 11 yard gains. But they just turned down tackles. The last touchdown that the Green Bay got, Diggs just turned it down. And I can get anybody to debate me on that. He turned it down. You don't retreat when you're on the 1 yard line or the 3 yard line. You retreat in the end zone What you think the guy gonna? What you trying to get an angle on him? You already at the 2 yard line. What angle you trying to get to him? And if our secondary tackles better, if our secondary was aggressive, this defense would be a whole lot better. Osa, I don't know. Osa played a hell of a game. Clark played a hell of a game. The defense, they really got after it. But if you're not going to follow them up with some guys on the back end that's about that life, it's going to make everybody look bad. Because teams are attacking our secondary because they think that they're soft. Green Bay ran multiple screens just to say, in the open field, y'all not going to attack the football. So, if your defense coordinator said that you got to tackle, then he needs to give the memo to the cornerback coach and the secondary coach, because somebody's not getting the memo. I hope I'm sorry if I'm moving a lot, but I'm doing this on my phone. This is my first thoughts. I don't know if the first thoughts will be the best thoughts. That might be a better view right there. I don't know if this will be my first thoughts or be my real thoughts. I may be dark on this, but y'all can hear my voice. It was a great event. I experienced live, and you probably experienced on TV, one of the best Sunday night games that you're going to have. And I think the Dallas Cowboys showed a lot of moxie and helped me feel a lot better about them because of their fight. I think the fans was great. Let me tell you, Green Bay, I'm going back to this way. Let me tell you something about Green Bay. Green Bay came to Dallas and put in about 40% of the crowd, if not 50%. In 100,000 people. It was no seats left. Over 100,000 people, and they brought big-time fans. And our fans got loud, they got loud, and to see 100,000 fans at the end of the game just be so silent, because nobody could talk trash. So me and my friends, we've been there, and we're going to have to travel all the way back home with nobody saying that. But it was a wonderful experience, man. And I want to say something. Now, I know this is late night and a lot of my people are not on here. But y'all may see it. Y'all might look at it and say, let me see what Coach Marv was talking about on tomorrow or whatever. I'm here because of y'all, man. Y'all have renewed a feeling about football that I ain't had for a while. And just coming on and talking to y'all, man, has really helped me a lot. And we got to get to this, man. I want y'all to listen to Coach Marv when he tell you certain things. I told you before this season started that safety was a problem. I told you all year about Diggs last year, and the year before that is, if a corner don't tackle, he really can't play for me. Because teams are just going to throw the ball in front of him and say, you can't tackle. He's going to compromise your defense so much that he's going to give up more than I can give a guy that can try to cover. You got to have both. But if you don't have a physical component to a game, football, that looks bad. That looks bad. That looks bad on us. That looks bad on this football team. That looks bad on the philosophy that this team is trying to get across. And I hope that Diggs' last tackle that he made doesn't make this team say, oh, okay, it's okay. And I'm not trying to throw him off the boat, but he's got to if he's considered a leader on this team, and he's not going to bring ass to get ass, he's going to hurt your team more than him not being a part. And I hate to say it that way, but that's the truth. Somebody got to sit down and talk to him and say, hey, you got to go back to what Nick Saban taught you. And Nick Saban did not teach a cornerback that couldn't tackle. I know I want to talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is about Michael Parsons. I know a lot of people want to talk about that. Some people going to try to rip that to pieces. And I'm not saying nothing about Micah. I enjoyed Micah and his time here. But I would say this again, and this will probably be the last time I say anything about Micah because we played Micah. But I will say this because he's not going to play us. No, I don't think we're going to face him nowhere in the regular season. We may face him in the playoffs. But since I really care about the young man because he played with the Cowboys, I will say this. Micah Parsons, you're not going to be generational just trying to be an edge rusher. Your specialty, what made you special, was that you could play linebacker and that you could run side to side. You could attack the running game because you were known as one of the best run-stopping linebackers in college football. And then you acquired the skills that you could be a pass rusher along with being a great linebacker. Just being an edge rusher, you're not as good as an edge rusher than T.J. Watt. You're not as good as an edge rusher as the Bosa. You're not as good as the guy that plays for the Las Vegas Raiders. You're not as good as the guy that plays in Cleveland, Myles Garrett. They are professional rushers as well as they're professional defensive ends. When we watch this film, we're going to see that your zest to play the run is where people are going to attack you. And just getting sacks is not going to make you generational. You are a special breed that can run a 4.3 40 when you want to hustle. But this film going to show that there were plays that you could run down that you wouldn't run it down. But the reason why that is because someone told you that you could be defensive end and that's all you need to be. And yes, you did get paid for that. But if you want to be generational and you want to be a Hall of Famer, just because you have the top salary is not going to put you in the Hall of Fame. What's going to put you in the Hall of Fame and going to put you in that category is you being able to do more with numbers. That means averaging 8 to 9, 10 tackles a game. That means strip fumbles. That means getting sacks. That means getting deflections. That means being all over the field, being a unicorn, being the queen of the chessboard. But being a defensive end and just a pass rusher, you're going to get minimized, and you're going to get minimized to just some pressures, and there's going to be games where guys are going to limit because you're not that their guys are, the T.J. Watts and them put up 20 sacks a year. T.J. Watts got another interception fumble thing. Myles Garrett dominates the game. These guys get scripted. This is what they do. Your generational criteria was that you could be a defensive lineman. You was a linebacker with defensive line capabilities, not a defensive lineman with linebacker capabilities. Now, I won't say this no more about Micah Parsons, but I will say you're not going to be as a major impact just being a defensive end. And that's why in big games, you're going to be limited because teams are not going to allow defensive ends to wreck a game as defensive end. But if you was a linebacker and playing for this Dallas or Green Bay and then was a mega in the run game at that linebacker position, you would make teams fear you. But right now, they shouldn't fear you. And salary doesn't make people fear you. Now, y'all might think I'm being harsh, but I'm saying that hoping this young man hears this to understand that his game got to get better. His salary done went up, but his game got to get better because I want to see the guy do well. But I think the Cowboys, we got to fix the back end. And we got to fix the back end with some people with some heart. And what I'm saying to you is we got to bring somebody in or we got to bring somebody up that's not been influenced by the softness that's already been there. I said on my Twitter when I showed that play where people was not passing up tackles. That was in the Chicago game. And I said in that video, in that thing, I said, there's a cancer in our back end. and we got to find who it is and get it out. And what I mean by that is there's a cancer of people who are not playing tough, that are veteran guys who are not coming to be physical and to give up their bodies. And what that is, it's a cancer that gets in that room, in that back end room, and then everybody feels that being soft back there and waiting on tackles and not attacking the football, they feel that that's the way to go. We got to get that out the room, and then we can get people with the mentality of attacking and knocking people out. Then we can be at another level as a defense. So whoever it is, they have gotten Donald Wilson into being soft, which he was never soft. I don't want to see that cancer, who it is, to bleed into the rest of the players. Now, y'all gonna say Coach Marv is being harsh about that, but that's the truth. And anybody that knows football knows that you can have a position group or a room that gets a person in there that's a veteran, and however their mentality is, most likely everybody's gonna follow that same mentality. And if it's the wrong mentality, you got a problem. So, hey, like I said before, great experience. We experienced one of the greatest games. And hey, we didn't get a loss, we didn't get a win, but we move on. I said that I wanted us to be at least 3-2 out the first 5 games. Well, it doesn't look like we can be 3-2, but we may be 2-1 after the first 5 games. That's okay. I seen some great advancement this game. We just have to continue to keep that same type of offensive scheme, that same with everybody, Dak throwing the ball to everybody, just leaning on Williams. Listen here, man. Let's get behind Williams as being a good running back, because he's showing you good running back qualities. Let's get behind Jalen Tolbert of making some plays. He can make some plays. I seen when he started making plays, he started even blocking better. Let's get behind our players instead of trying to throw them off the boat. I know y'all gonna say, well, Coach, you trying to throw the defensive backs off the boat. I can support a guy making mistakes. I cannot support softness. Let me say that again. I can support a guy not making mistakes, but I can't support you not having the will and the heart. I can't support being soft. If you're soft, we got to get rid of you. Now, if you make mistakes, we can coach you up. But if you're soft and you ain't got the zest to go give it, the bring ass to get ass, you got to go. And I don't care who that is, because you'll be better off without that cancer in your locker room than you will if you're trying to set a new culture, than to try to say, oh, they'll give me something good here and there, but they're not giving you what your culture is trying to call for. And your culture is trying to call for a physical, mental tough team. You can't have guys passing up tackles. It's going to ruin the rest of your team. And after a while, your linebackers are going to be doing it. After a while, your defensive line going to do it, because they're going to feel, hell, you let those guys do it. So, again, man, like I said, man, follow me. Please share this information. Share this information to people in your what name, share it out there, because some people might not pick it up. But if you share it out there and say, hey, Coach Marv live, but when you share it, put a comment on about how you feel about what I'm talking about. If you with it, you like coaches preaching, coaches really giving some stuff, just like I came on last year. I'm giving you the real, not the narrative. And all the other stuff you hear is a bunch of narrative. They're going to probably put a narrative to find some way to bring Dak Prescott. They're going to put a narrative to some type of way to blame Matt Eberflus. You can't blame, Matt Eberflus for guys turning down tackles. Because I'm quite sure that ain't how they've been coached. So, let's get behind this team. Man, give me, please say, for safe travels. keep supporting the channel with cash apps. You know, PBS. My cash app is PBS222. Support the channel with super chats or super things. Support the channel, man. We're trying to get better. We're trying to get more. Make sure if you subscribe, make sure you share this out there. Support the channel so we can try to get better equipment, better things, and I can go out and do more to try to, give you content. But I appreciate you. Next time you probably be hearing from me. I may do a little snippet in the morning before we get out of here, because our plane is leaving out here sometime tomorrow afternoon. But thank you, man. Thank you for supporting. Hey, the night was like when I left the game, and I know I might get in trouble with this, but it was like sex without an orgasm. It was like sex without an orgasm. Hey, it was a beautiful game. Loved it. But it didn't have no climax. Until next time, salute, Cowboy Nation. Love you, man.